Hey, Steve, you're on with Ian.
Hi, Steve.
Hey, Ian.
Hi, Steve. How's it going?
Hi, how are you, man?
Well, good, thanks.
Appreciate you doing this. Thank you.
No problem.
All right. Okay, we're rolling here. We're recording. Okay, great. All right. 1059 The Mountain. I'm Steve Richards. Judas Priest's Invincible Shield Tour rolls into Charlotte on May 14th at PNC Music Pavilion. 14 shows in all on this tour. It kicks off in April. The new Judas Priest album, Invincible Shield, coming out March 8th. Is the bassist in Judas Priest. He is the sole continuous member of the band, and along with lead guitarist Glenn Tipton, he's the only member who has appeared on all of the band's studio albums. So, Ian, how are you?
Oh, just fine. Thank you. Thank you.
Getting ready for that tour?
Yep, sure am. Yep.
So, what's the story behind how you got into this band way back in 1969?
It was more the band sort of came to me. Um, Ken, KK, drummer called John Ellis and myself, we'd formed a little band together, just basically playing local rehearsal studios and things. We were doing any shows, just learning our trade and getting better. And there was a band already around called Judas Priest that had recently split up, and their vocalist Alan Atkins came knocking on the door one day, wanted to know if we needed a vocalist, and he's a good vocalist. He had a good reputation, and he was popular, so we took him on. Spent about the rest of the 1970 just rehearsing and getting a set list together and writing some of our own things. And we were ready to go by about early 71. It's when we realised we hadn't really got a name for the band. So after a lot of head scratching, he said, shall I just call the other guys in the original band and see if they mind us using the name, And none of them did. It was actually the bass player from the first band who thought of the name, and none of them minded. So we sort of inherited the name and went on from there.
Speaking of the bass, so why bass guitar for you, and who taught you how to play it?
Well, it's a double bass back there.
Yeah.
I started on that. My dad was a double bass player he played dance bands, jazz combos, and things. He never earned any money. It was only ever a sort of a hobby. But when I finally started getting into music, he taught me the rudiments on the double bass. He unfortunately died when I was only 15 when he died. He died of cancer. And not long after that, I acquired a bass guitar, which is ultimately easier to play and a hell of a lot more portable, and carried on with that, and I just self-taught after that. Dad only taught me just a couple of scales. That's all he had time to do, before he got ill. And like I say, I was just listening to my favorite bands, which in those days were sort of John Mayall's Blues Breakers, Free, Fleetwood Mac, Hendrix, of course, Cream, and picking out the bass lines and just going at it that way. And then Ken and I had known each other for a long time, since kindergarten, really. We'd known each other. But we discovered that we shared a common interest in music, and became firm friends, And that was the nucleus of the band. Ken, myself, and a drummer called John Ellis, as I say.
Back then, you mentioned Fleetwood Mac. A lot of people don't know this. Fleetwood Mac started out as a blues band back
Oh
in
yeah,
those days. Yeah.
yeah. It's, Pete Green, Danny Kerwin, Jeremy Spencer. I think there was only Mick Fleetwood and John McVie who made it into the second incarnation with Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham. The others, I don't know what happened there. There's various stories about how they split up. But anyway, they were reinvented. You know, Stevie Nicks came along and Lindsay. But yeah, they were one of my favourite bands. They were a great blues band. They really
Mm.
were.
So Invincible Shield, the new album, as I mentioned, coming out on March 8th. It is the 19th studio album, produced by your touring guitarist, Andy Sneap, who also produced Firepower back in 2018 as well. How would you say, Ian, the newest songs on this album compared to some of the older songs?
There's hints of really old songs in there. You know, there's some of the new material songs. I don't know, Giants in the Sky, Invincible Shield itself. We've got lots of avenues, often lots of different parts, which is what we were known for in the early days. You know, you get songs like, I don't know, Victim of Changes, Sentinel, things like that. You know, and you've got the light and the shade. And the different parts of the songs, and some of these songs off the new album do echo that, you know, but it's all done in a very, very modern way, and we have moved on from Firepower, especially in as much as the songs are a lot busier than Firepower. Mm-hmm. There's a lot more intricacy in there, and of course we did have an extended writing period there thanks to COVID. You know, Carvey came along. The songs had been written before the epidemic hit, and when the lockdowns came, we were all prevented from seeing one another. You know, but Richie had a hell of a lot of time on his hands to perfect the songs, and by the time Scott and myself got them, you know, they were ready to go. He just had to put his drum patterns down, put my bass lines down, and it was a simpler process than it could have been. You know. The only drawback being that we went straight from lockdown straight into the 50th anniversary tour. Right. So we never really got time in the studio together. So it was all done separately in various studios throughout America and Britain. In fact, my bass lines were put down in hotel rooms on the last European tour. We got Andy there anyway. And the bass was the last thing that needed to be put down. Which we were planning to do as soon as that tour finished. We were going to go to the studio. And he said, we might as well just utilize the days off. You know, we're sitting around doing nothing. Mm-hmm. So I just took a bass guitar along to his room and did them there. You know, it was great. It's a wonderful way to record. Laid back, no pressure. You got a whole day, and you got one bass line. That's usually the way we did it. I said, okay, we'll just keep on going through it until we got it perfected. You know. A little bit here, a little bit there, change a little piece, follow the drums, follow the guitar, wherever, and that's the way we did it. So by the time we'd finished the tour, the bass lines were down, which was the last component really, apart from one or two very small things. And Andy could get straight in and start mixing it down, and putting his production to it. You know, it saved us probably maybe half a month. You know, looking about, waiting for all the equipment to come back and then get it in the studio, getting set up, getting comfortable with it all again. When we did it, you know, while we were current, you know, while we were up, we were already playing, we're fluent. And like I say, you also had got 5 or 6 other pairs of eyes bearing into the back of your head. Come on, get out of here, it's my turn, you know. So it was a great way of doing things. It really was.
You have a couple of favorites off the new album that you're looking forward to playing on this U.S. tour?
I'm not sure we'll be playing them or not, but there are a couple of ones that are sticking out at the moment. It's early days, of course. It's Invincible Shield. I love that track. Giants in the Sky. It's another classic. Panic Attack. Another great song. And I think that those are the ones that are standing out to me at the moment. That's liable to change, you know, the longer I live with the record, you know. But I'm liking those tracks in particular.
Hey, Ian, finally, what's it like being in a band for over 50 years now?
Doesn't seem that long, which is a good thing. It means that it hasn't got tedious yet, you know. So yeah, it's listen. There's not a day where I don't wake up and feel, you know, really grateful to be able to have done what I did for a living. You know, it's not very often you get to do something that you love and earn money out of it. And like I say, I thank my lucky stars every day. There's been ups and downs along the way, as there always has been, but I wouldn't change a single minute of it. I find myself very, very privileged to be able to have done it, you know.
Ian Hill from Judas Priest. The album comes out on March 8th. Invincible Shield, the tour, the Invincible Shield tour by the same name, rolls into Charlotte here in North Carolina on Tuesday, March 14th, PNC Music Pavilion. We are looking forward to see you all out there. And Ian, thanks so much for joining me.
You're welcome, Steve. Yeah, we'll see you on the 14th.
Hey, thanks so much.
Pleasure, mate. Be safe.
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, again, Ian.
Bye, Steve.
Right. I guess the beginning, the intro did not record from what I'm being told.
Okay.
All right. Hold on one second here. Okay.
Yep, Steve, it's just the opening line when you were introducing him, literally the part when you said Ian Hill didn't, it cut out on my end. I don't know if it's going to cut out on your audio end, but just to be safe, if you just want to do that.
Record Ian Hill, bass player from Judas Priest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Or the whole, okay, I'll just do that one line.
Mhm.
Pick up on that one line. Okay. Ian Hill is the bass player for Judas Priest. All good?
Yep, I would do it one more time.
Nice. Ian Hill is the bass player for Judas Priest.
Okay, very good. Thanks so much, Steve. You take care.
Thanks so much, everyone. Thanks, Ian.
Good day.
All right, take care. Bye.
Bye.